And we found 1, 2, 3. These guys are all together. 3 different types of seeds and a little bulb of onion grass and a type of grass. Based on that information, what do you guys think? High biodiversity, low biodiversity? Yeah, that's pretty good, right? For that little patch of forest, that's pretty good. Why does it matter?
Maybe so same type of plants. Like maybe if we have like a really invasive plant, so they don't start taking over each other and start dying.
Yeah. So if we found just one type or 2 types, that might indicate that we might have some kind of an invasive species in there, right? Kind of taking over, outcompeting. And then the problem with that is if you have, they call it a monoculture. Like if you just have one type. If you have a monoculture and a disease or a fungus or a predaceous beetle, something comes in there, that could wipe out that whole forest, right? So if you have diversity, if there's something that is causing these guys an issue, these other guys are still there to continue growing in that forest. Does that make sense? So I'll tell you a little bit about some of the things that we found, and we'll do these kinds of biodiversity studies the rest of the day. So with birds or fish or anything else we're coming across. These are sycamores. Oh, this guy's in the wrong pile. This guy is a sycamore. We have a big sycamore here because we always find the leaves right around here, but they usually have peeling bark, and this time of year their bark is pretty white. So we'll have to look around for a tree with like a white, I don't know if that's him.
Well, there's one.
That guy there.
Doug yanked it
Huh?
out.
It's what?
There's one over there, but it's cut down.
But it's cut down. Out by the cabin, we'll definitely see the sycamores. The sycamores are really cool. They're a native tree. They love to live near water, and they shed their bark usually in the full moon at the end of the summer, right before the start of fall. And the Native Americans used to use that cue in nature as a time that the harvest was starting. It was time to begin the harvest. So they would all come together at meeting places during the moon of the falling bark. They would know to come together and celebrate the harvest season approaching. So no Evites, no Snapchat telling their friends where to meet up. They would look for that, the peeling bark of the sycamore. These guys are sweet gums. Sweet gum, yes, gum, G-U-M.
Tastes like gum. Cool.
Sweet gum, and these are their seed pods, their gum balls. So these are the seed pods of this tree. And if you look up, we've got one right there. You look up and you see trees that have star-shaped leaves, that's them. They get amazing, amazing fall color. Their leaves are so pretty in the fall.
Anybody know where those are on our schoolyard? We have a lot of sweet gum at our school.
Do you?
Anybody know where they are?
Nope, not a clue.
Ah, I see. That's because you haven't been with me yet. Next week we'll find out.
If there's a place where you have a lot of these, a lot of people throwing these at each other, like, oh, must be a sweet gum nearby. And then the pines. Nobody found the leaves of the pines, the pine needles. But these are the seed pods. They fall off. They're closed up tight. Each one has a little seed, and then when they start drying out, they open up and the little seeds fall out.
No,
Right?
they aren't really leaves, aren't they needles?
The pine needles. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Somebody did. Oh, that
Yeah, we
adds
found
one more.
some.
Yeah, so those are like the leaves, right? The pine needles. This is from a Chinese chestnut. These leaves, I'm going to guess you did not find in there because our Chinese chestnut is over here in this area. But so you probably found them around this area. Chinese chestnut, native or non-native? Not native.
Can I mention something about the American chestnut?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thanks. So the American chestnut right now they're trying to get it back. I wouldn't say extinct, but it won't live past a certain age. And so in Poolesville, we had a bunch of little American chestnuts and on the high school property. and they were growing really nice, and we were just waiting for, I think it's like 7-8 years. Then they get a blight and they end up dying, and so we're waiting. We're like, they're still living. They're still living. We left one weekend and we came back, and they had done a really nice job of trimming all the American chestnuts and cutting the branches off, which then it would be like us getting a cut, right? It exposed them. Within a year, there was like 3 left, and originally there was like 25. Yeah. So as soon as we saw that, we were like, that there is, if you go to the American Chestnut Foundation, there are a lot of really good people working really, really hard to try and bring back the American chestnut.
Yeah. That is a bummer.
Yeah, yeah. So when you see these, a lot of times they're hybrids between the American and the Chinese chestnut. But if you did find an American chestnut that was full grown, it'd be like finding the Willy Wonka golden ticket.
And then these guys are tulip poplars, and tulip poplars grow really tall, really fast, usually really straight. So tulip poplar is a good, poplar wood is a good wood for harvesting because it grows for like milling, because it grows so quick, so